If you're feeling like the people you like don't like you and you don't know why, the first thing you might want to look at is whether you are people-pleasing. I'm Anna Runkle, also known as the Crappy Childhood Fairy. I teach people how to heal from the effects of childhood PTSD. And today I want to talk about the dark and sometimes unattractive side of changing yourself to make people like you, trying to match their interests, their values, flattering them, and hiding how you really think and feel in hopes that they'll let you in, that they'll keep you in their lives. People-pleasing is really common for people who were abused and neglected in childhood. It's like a reflex to survive at any cost, but in the end, it's one reason why we end up so often feeling unhappy and disconnected from ourselves and from any kind of meaningful relationship with other people. And that's just one reason why people-pleasing can be so toxic. Now, to be clear, acting however you like with other people isn't automatically the right thing to do. Nobody likes someone who's a blowhard or who's insensitive to how they're affecting other people. But people do tend to like and respect someone who can simultaneously be considerate and aware of other people and be themselves. They care about how they treat you, but they don't worry whether you approve of them or not. You can probably think of people who you consider to be really accomplished and cool. And in fact, that's basically what being cool is, being free of any self-contortion for the sake of approval. Now, people who have a mission in life, especially when it's different than the status quo, they can't afford to fit in with everything that already exists. And the pressure is always there to fit in. And that's why innovators and heroes so often have this piece in their story where one day they had to sort of stand up and be brave and declare who they really were or what they really thought, that was the only way that they could break through. And it wasn't easy, but that's how history has moved forward. Well, that's how it could be in your life too. You could be brave. You could be willing to be unpopular, at least at first, and you could be willing to work really, really hard on yourself so that you really know the difference between being true to yourself and just being an inconsiderate jerk, right? So we'll talk more about that, but let's talk first about the small ways that we people please and what that costs us. So the first thing is, trying to make other people like you seldom works. They don't end up liking you. Think about your own experience when someone was people-pleasing you. They're falling all over themselves, they're agreeing with everything you say, they're laughing too hard at your jokes. It's weird, it's uncomfortable. Or they're just saying yes when actually they mean no. This happened to me once when someone close to me had died, and some of my friends took turns spending the night at my apartment so that I wouldn't have to be alone. It was very kind of them. But this one friend came over on the night that she had signed up for, and there was this weird, tense energy with her, and I asked her what was wrong, and she said, it's nothing. I just wondered if maybe I was in your way. And she wasn't in my way, and I did want her there, but not if she didn't want to be there. And it turns out she had work to do, and she was afraid to be honest with me that she didn't want to be there. She probably was right. I might have been hurt if she canceled. But because she didn't cancel, I didn't have the chance to arrange for someone else to be there, somebody who wanted to be there and who would have been a comfort to me. Now, I know she just wanted me to be taken care of. But in reality, the energy that she was bringing was resentment. And at that point, I way preferred to spend the night alone than to feel like I created a problem for her. Sometimes, of course, we have to do unpleasant things to help other people because they need us or because we're actually responsible for them. And that might be the right thing. But if you're just trying to avoid conflict or just trying to look like a good person and you're doing some favor for other people resentfully, you're not actually doing them a favor. You're making things harder for you and for them. And sometimes people pleasers then go on to make things still harder by holding on to the idea that, hey, I did this for you and you're not even grateful. And people aren't always grateful. That's a fact. But if you're going around doing nice things for people in hopes that they'll give you something that you want, something not spoken maybe, but that you expect, like companionship or praise or inclusion in a group, or one of the most insidious forms of people-pleasing, which is hoping someone will finally come to fall in love with you because you've done so much for them. Have you ever done that or had it done to you? What happens? The people-pleaser ends up pissed off that their niceness didn't give them what they want. And that veneer of niceness just vanishes, right? It becomes obvious to everyone that they weren't acting out of generosity or sweetness. They were trying to control the other person. You can't make people like you. Pretending to be someone so they will is manipulation. And manipulation, to any healthy person, has a really icky feeling to it. Our hearts snap shut, we're out of there, right? People pleasing doesn't just push people away though. If you live your life on a false basis day after day, year after year, stuffing how you feel, justifying how you go along with things you hate, you can end up forgetting who you really are. You can end up in a life that you never wanted, just having fights about things that aren't even worth fighting for. And even if you win, all you get is something that you never actually wanted. Next thing you know, you've developed real skill in hiding from your own common sense, and that can put you in danger. Now this is what I call crap fit, right? That's my word for when you fit yourself to unacceptable people and situations. You teach yourself to ignore what you're noticing and feeling just so someone won't get mad at you. You don't actually want to become good at this. That's like being good at being a hostage. And sure, the kidnapper's nice to you here and there, but you never get out. And that's how abuse happens. It's how people stay in abusive relationships and how abusers get away with it. So just being safe from harm in the short run, that's survival, that's smart. But staying like that is a waste of your life. Now the reason I made this video is to answer a question I've been getting in a lot of different forms about why I advise people who want better relationships to be friendly and to be good listeners and to put themselves out there. And sometimes people write to me and they say, I did what you said, I went to a party and I didn't talk about myself, I just listened, and all that happened was that people took total advantage of me and blabbed the night away and never asked me about myself. And you know what? That's what happened to me too. And I totally know what it's like to be both the blabber and the blabby in that situation. And I'll just cut to the chase and say, if you're just listening to people to get them to like you, it's not likely to lead to friendship. They might enjoy the experience, but they don't become friends because you weren't there. And there's every opportunity for the other person to take advantage of somebody who's doing that. And in a way, and this is tough love, you're taking advantage of them when you pretend to be interested to get something. And you're not likely to get what you're looking for. We're not interesting when we're not being real. People pleasing is not real. It's boring. And people who don't like themselves enough to be themselves and who are not sincerely interested in other people can be kind of draining to be around. So it's good to learn to listen to other people, to care about them, and it's good to set them free to be themselves and not keep angsting over whether they're giving us what we want or what we thought we would get if we did everything we thought they wanted. It's good when you realize you don't really like someone, so you can step away. You can run if you have to. It's good to be polite. But if you resent someone's company, just move on. Find people whose company you like, people who are worth listening to. That's one of the things about childhood PTSD. If we didn't get paid attention to adequately when we were little, we can put too much pressure on other people to be the thing that feels like it's missing. And then if they can't deliver, we're hard on them. And this is the kind of dynamic, not the only one, but one of the reasons childhood PTSD is so closely linked with loneliness. Even when we want to be close to people, we're unconsciously doing things that push them away. And it's sad, but this is figure-outable. You might have to learn and practice ways of connecting with people that don't come naturally to you, but you can learn, and you can develop workarounds to get you just one step forward, a little more connected, a little more real with people, in the company of people you like more. And sometimes that's all you need to take your next step. Just a little step gets you to the next step. That's how healing happens, a little at a time, staying focused, not giving up, not going, screw it, because you had one bad experience. So you made it to the end of this video. That proves you know how to persevere. And I know I have online courses to help people with these practical aspects of healing from the effects of childhood trauma. And if you want to learn more about that, you can click the links below. But that's what I'm telling you. You can connect better with people. You do not have to people please them. You do have to work on yourself. So persevere. That's how we do it. And I will see you next week.